Let's now connect with the management. Sandhya J, she joins us now. She's Group CFO. Let's understand that what are the factors which are at play, how things are looking up, and going forward in the second half of this year, what should we expect? Good morning. Thank you for joining us. For me, what stands out is the EBITDA uptick and margin expansion. Now, for a sector where in last quarter nothing has changed, more than top line, there is a strong margin expansion. Is this efficiency or this is operating leverage? What has helped you?
Good morning. Thank you for inviting me here. I think it's the result of all the hard work that we've been putting in over the course of the last year. There is a lot of work that we've done in terms of improvement of throughput, and we've spoken about it every time we've had this interaction. So within the same capacity, how we can process more volumes, and that helps us bring our costs down. As you can see, we've not taken a significant price increase, and so only some of it is coming from realization. A lot of it is coming from efficiency improvements which we've driven. Having said that, also we have to be very cautious that there are many cost headwinds, and we are not people that pass on quickly cost headwinds into price. So when there is a increase that comes, then we try to offset the increase through efficiencies. So we are also looking up at cost headwinds as we go through the year, both on the material side as well as on the manpower cost side. So I think we still have more work to do.
Okay, so that's the point taken as far as the efficiencies and all the hard work that you and the team have put in. But just wanted to understand, how's the Cayman business, panning out in terms of the traction, in terms of the occupancy levels and the kind of profitability metrics that you have seen from the Cayman's operations?
Yes. So occupancy as such is not a big lever for Cayman because it's a small hospital, a high realization. Throughput and realization is what drives business in Cayman. Q1 was very good for us in Cayman. We've been able to sustain the margins that we have delivered in the previous year. Also, our radiation block went live in Cayman in Q1. So we have the benefit of the radiation revenue coming in into our baseline for at least half of Q1. So that's also generated a positive uptick in the Cayman revenue, and the outlook, as we can see today, is looking positive from a Cayman point of view.
Now, for growth to sustain, there are two factors. Occupancy rates have to go higher or new capacity addition has to kick in. Are you reaching that threshold beyond which occupancy rates are unlikely to go higher because of the sheer expansion of the industry?
So, occupancy, the way the industry measures, is only a half measure because we look at occupancy as if a bed is occupied in the midnight, then that's treated as occupancy. But there are multiple factors at play here. Two of them is, one is that more and more, a lot of procedures happen daycare, and patients don't necessarily need a bed in the night. And that's where the health industry is moving to. The second aspect, of course, is that many times hospitals are not constrained because they don't have a midnight bed, but because the rest of the capacity is bottlenecked, whether it is OT capacity, whether it is cath lab capacity, whether it is CT, MR, radiology capacity. And therefore, when we have looked at our own debottlenecking, we are looking at both debottlenecking the capacity, which helps throughput. So from that perspective, I think we still have a significant headspace on how much more work we can do in improving the efficiency of our operations, and that will give us the path to grow while our greenfield capacity comes up, which we've spoken about earlier.
You've always followed an asset-light model. But of late, if I look at what expansion you are doing, what acquisitions you're talking about, you're adding debt to your balance sheet. That's not the Narayana Hrudayalaya I know of. Is there a difference?
I think it's a journey. We did pioneer asset-light model, but over a period of time, what we realized was that the industry caught on, and the economics of the asset-light model are not as attractive as they were when we ventured into asset-light initially. So therefore, we are now looking to expand capacity. But one thing we're very conscious of, and we've been from the beginning, is to keep a healthy ROCE for our investors. And therefore, from that perspective, even when we add debt and when we create capacity, a lot of it will be driven with the ROCE focus.
Back to the first point that you were talking about in terms of margins, that there is still more work to do. One needs to be cautious because of the cost headwinds and the lag in passing on costs. Does all of that mean that for now the margins have topped out around that 22% level? Do you see more northward bias to it? What's the range that we should expect for full year?
We don't guide margins. So what I can say is we are working very hard to maintain and improve our margins, and hopefully we'll be successful.
There is this one theme which, when I speak to some of your peers and when I even speak to Narayana Hrudayalaya, is the change of health insurance and what kind of impact it is giving to the tertiary healthcare and to the unorganized healthcare. Post-COVID, the trend which we spoke about, that Indians are buying more insurance, more health insurance, and they are availing better healthcare and they're going to they're going towards better medical care. Do you think this is an ongoing trend, or that only happened in and around COVID?
I think that is the direction the country will go, and we can see it not just in healthcare but across all other service sector also, where the country is gravitating to avail higher order services, which is the right direction for any country. But more so, the awareness has significantly increased after COVID, but also availability of health insurance is also increasing. There are a lot of new health insurance companies that have come up. There is the cost of insuring has become affordable, and so we believe that this is the trend. And if you look at it, that's the way to go. So many times it's very sad that people have to sell their houses, their assets to come and get a healthcare done. A simple surgery is like a life saving gone for a family. Now, for a the way our country is progressing, I think people will move more and more towards health insurance, and it's a good we are in a good place as a country, I feel.
Sure, Sandhya, on that optimistic note, we let you go. Appreciate you joining us on the show today.